Silly left.
Back at the ballpark in Arlington, it is a red, white, and blue Monday night for Texas. Ranger fans not only have their game faces on, their whole bodies are ready for this one. It's a nice Monday night at the ballpark in Arlington. Game 4 of this 4-game series against the second-place Anaheim Angels. Game number 68 of the 1998 American League season for Texas, as the Rangers get back on track last night with the 4-2 win over the Angels. And tonight they try to earn a split of this 4-game series against the Angels, who come in at 38-28 on the year. The Rangers 13 games over 500 at 40-27. Southwest Airlines lineup for Anaheim tonight has Darren Erstad leading off at first base, to be followed by Craig Shipley, the third baseman, hitting second. Batting third is the center fielder Jim Edmonds. The cleanup man is the designated hitter Tim Salmon. Batting fifth in right field is Garrett Anderson. Hitting sixth is the catcher Phil Nevin. Batting seventh in left field Orlando Palmeiro. Batting eighth at second base is Justin Bachman, and the number 9 hitter is the shortstop Gary DiSarcina. Defensively for Texas, it's Greer, Goodwin, and Gonzalez in the outfield. Tatis and Clark on the corners of the infield. Cedeno and Alicea up the middle, with Bill Hasselman behind the plate. And Bobby Witt is on the mound for Texas.
Bobby Witt 5-3 on the season. He had a no decision in his last start. That was the 17-8 loss here at the ballpark against San Diego. Bobby's been hurt by the home run. He's given up 12 of them in 66 innings. Needs to concentrate on keeping his slider down. He's been hurt when he's hung that slider several times. That's the ball he'll give up the long ball on, the hanging slider. When he's pitching well, he keeps it down and away from the right-handers and gets a lot of strikeouts from left-hand hitters down and in and out of the strike zone with that slider.
Faces the left-handed hitting Darren Erstad to start things off for the Angels. Erstad comes in hitting .326 on the season. He has 15 home runs and 44 RBIs. First pitch is a ball. The 1-0 pitch from Bobby Witt is a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dale Ford behind the plate calling the balls and strikes tonight. Ted Hendry, the first base umpire. Drew Coble at second, and Ted Barrett works the third base side. A new umpiring crew for game 4 of this series. Had a different crew for the first 3 games. This is popped down the line in left. Cedeno is back, and he has it. And Erstad is retired. There's 1 out in the first.
Rusty Greer was playing pretty deep in left field. Domingo had a long run to catch this ball. He's about halfway out in left field. Catches it on the run.
Bobby Witt now facing Craig Shipley, the Angel third baseman. There you take a look at that Angels lineup now. Erstad, Shipley, and Edmonds, the top third, followed by Salmon, Anderson, and Nevin. In the bottom third has Palmeiro, Bachman, and DiSarcina. First ball swinging, and Shipley is an out, caught by the catcher Bill Hasselman, starting for the 3rd straight game in place of Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate.
And a good start for Bobby Witt. Only a few pitches, 2 outs. The start that the Rangers need a good outing from Bobby Witt. They got a great outing from Rick Helling last night. On the season, Bobby's numbers, more walks than strikeouts. Bobby throughout his career has walked quite a few batters, but he's also struck out a lot. That's something that's been reversed this year, more walks than strikeouts. One thing you don't have to worry about from Bobby Witt, you'll get his best effort every time out. Sometimes it may not be enough, but you never have to worry about whether Bobby Witt will give it everything he's got. He'll do that.
And Bobby and Dick Bosman have been encouraged by his work in the bullpen over the last week. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dick Bosman, the Ranger pitching coach. Bobby was pushed back a couple of days from when he was scheduled to start, and Johnny Oates was saying the main reason that he did that, he wanted Darren Oliver to face the Angels because of the matchups. Oliver has had more success against the Angels in his career, but Oliver then went on the disabled list with a strained shoulder. And so Bobby Witt is getting the start against the Angels. into left center field. Goodwin on the run, makes the play. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Bobby Witt in the first. The Rangers hit when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. Inning here at the ballpark in Arlington. Some optimistic Ranger fans as the Rangers get set to hit in the bottom of the first. Tom Goodwin will lead off the Southwest Airlines lineup for Texas, followed by Luis Alicea at second base. Rusty Grieve, some great career numbers against Steve Sparks. In right field, the cleanup man is Juan Gonzalez. At first base is Will Clark, batting sixth. Tonight is the catcher Bill Hasselman. Lee Stevens hits seventh. He is the DH. Domingo Cedeno bats eighth. And Fernando Tatis is the number 9 hitter for Johnny Oates. Defensively for Anaheim, Palmeiro, Edmonds, and Anderson in the outfield. Shipley and DeSarcina on the left side. Bachman and Erstad on the right with Nevin behind the plate. And the knuckleballer Steve Sparks is on the mound.
We mentioned with Steve Sparks, he didn't pitch at all last season. He had Tommy John surgery, and he's trying to work back into things this year. He started out in Double-A, where he was 0-4 at Midland. His ERA was over 7. Then in Vancouver, he matched the 0-4, but his ERA was below 3. And in his last 2 ball games, he pitched pretty well. Included in those losses, in his second to the last start, was a 1-0 defeat when he didn't walk a batter and struck out 10. So perhaps the 0-8 record is a little deceptive.
This one is popped middle of the infield. Craig Shipley has it, a basket catch, and there is one out in the first. Shipley getting the start at third base. Dave Hollins is out of the lineup for the Angels tonight.
Sparks got behind in the count with his knuckleball, had to come in with a fastball. Yeah, it was a little sneaky. Tom Goodwin was behind it and popped it up to third base.
Here's Luis Alicea, the former Angel, hitting second in the lineup for Texas tonight. Takes one inside. This is the Angel debut for Steve Sparks. Alicea with the average at 278. Hitting strictly from the left side now. And he sends this one into center field. On the run is Edmonds, and Edmonds traps it. Alicea is aboard at first base. A great dive by Edmonds in center field, but it falls for a base hit.
Luis Alicea takes advantage of a knuckleball that doesn't really knuckle and rips it into center field. And there's a good view of Edmonds with the dive, but he short hopped it. Did a nice job of catching the ball on the short hop. The ball could have skipped by him for extra bases.
Here's Rusty Grieve. That would have been interesting had it gotten past Edmonds on the dive. Alicea with good speed. He's on at first base. There's one out. Rusty with the average just below 270 now. Grieve hits it through the right side. Alicea on his way to third. Garrett Anderson with the throw that's cut in the middle of the infield, and the Rangers have runners at the corners against Sparks. Let's say hello on this Monday night to John Radigan in the ballpark. John?
Hey, Bill, I tell you what, Juan Gonzalez coming to the plate. You'll hear the ovation in just a moment, but you know he may not be flirting with the home run record like Mark McGwire is, but Juan Gonzalez has put up some pretty good numbers of his own. He is 20 RBIs ahead of his closest competitor in the RBI race in the American League, and he's tied with McGwire at 80 for the season. Juan averaging an RBI every 3.5 at bats, and get this, 78 career RBIs against the Angels, and that is the most against any one team except Cleveland. That ties him with his mark against Cleveland, so Juan due for a big night RBI-wise. Bill and Tom, back to you guys.
All right, John Radigan roaming the ballpark tonight. And Gonzalez sends this one to right field. Garrett Anderson back near the track. The tag by Alicea at third base. John said that Juan was due for an RBI, and on the next pitch, Juan delivers the RBI. Sacrifice fly. Gonzalez with 81 runs batted in on the season, and Texas leads at 1-0.
Well, the guys ahead of Juan continue to get on base. Alicea and Grieve set the table. Juan with a long fly ball to right field gets the RBI. This is a knuckleball that doesn't do very much. It stays up in the strike zone. Juan hits it far enough for the sacrifice fly. The knuckleball that Rusty Grieve hit was a pretty good one. That one danced down. Rusty was able to pull it into right field for a base hit.
Rusty's on at first. There are 2 outs now. Will Clark is the hitter. Takes a ball, 1-0. Clark with the average up over 300 now, as Will got 3 hits in last night's game. It was a 4-2 Ranger win over Anaheim. Check on Grieve at first base. Steve Sparks. He spent 8 years in the minor leagues before finally making it to the big leagues with Milwaukee in the '95 season. And Erstad makes the play at first base, and that'll do it for the Rangers in the first. But Juan gets his 81st RBI of the season. Rangers over the Angels 1-0 here at the ballpark in Arlington. We're through 1 inning of play. Ah, yes, nice night to bring the whole family out to the ballpark. Rangers hope to say hello to a win tonight. It is the 2nd inning here, and it's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Anaheim against Bobby Witt, who had a flawless first inning. Tim Salmon, Garrett Anderson, and Phil Nevin to face Witt in the 2nd. Rangers get to Sparks for 1 run in their half of the first inning, a 1-0 lead. Tim Salmon hitting .275 on the season, 14 home runs. He hit 1 last night against the Rangers. And Witt starts him off with a strike. Well, that's one of the keys that Dick Bosman and Johnny Oates have talked about with Bobby Witt, is to get ahead. Also talk about his ability to change speeds. That's important as well. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Look at the 3 and 4 hitters for the Angels in this series. Edmonds hitting up near 500, and Salmon is 5 for 12, both with a couple of home runs. Edmonds with 3 doubles. They have done some damage. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Salmon. In fact, Edmonds and Salmon did the damage against Rick Helling in last night's game. Only 3 base runners for the Angels in the first 8 innings of last night's game against Helling. Helling gave up back-to-back homers in the 4th inning on back-to-back pitches to Edmonds and Salmon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rick Helling now joins Aaron Seeley as 9-game winners, tied for the lead in the American League. Seeley on the left, 9 and 4. Helling is now 9 and 3. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Salmon. So Witt gets ahead in the count here, and now it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. This one is hit foul, third base side. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And just about 3 weeks away from the All-Star game. It'll be interesting to see what happens as far as the Rangers are concerned, as far as the All-Star voting goes. But also among these pitchers, you've got Seeley and Helling with 9 wins now. And of course, John Wetland is tied for the American League lead now with 19 saves. Salmon, this is to right center field. Goodwin on the run. He makes the play. And Witt wins the battle against Tim Salmon to start the 2nd. Don't miss the last game of the Oakland series this week and the last afternoon game until September. This Thursday afternoon, spend the afternoon with the kids. It's ETM Kroger Batting Helmet Day for kids 13 and under. For tickets, visit the ETM kiosk at your local Kroger or call Metro 817-273-5100. Back up the middle off the bat of Garrett Anderson. And there is the first hit of the night against Bobby Witt.
Anderson hit a slider up the middle. Not a terrible pitch, actually. Down and in. Anderson almost got a base hit last night with the bases loaded against John Wetland, an 0-2 pitch. Ball Bobby reaches for, can't quite get to it. But Anderson last night, no balls and 2 strikes. Wetland threw him an excellent curveball down and out of the strike zone. He got the bat on it, almost found a hole up the middle. Alisea made the play to end the ball game.
That was with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 9th. Angels had the tying run at second base. So if that one had gotten through, game would have been tied. Phil Nevin is the hitter with a man on and one out here in the second. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Nevin drives this one to left field. Grieve trying to play it off the wall, but there's no play on this one. It is over the wall, and Nevin has the 2-run homer. The Angels have the lead. It's 2-1 Anaheim. Phil Nevin just back from a 3-game suspension, and he's back with a vengeance.
This is a pitch that Bobby didn't get away with. It's a belt high, what looks like a fastball, maybe a little bit above the belt. 5 or 6 years ago, there's no way Nevin could have taken the same swing at Bobby Witt's fastball. Not quite as much on it right now, and he hits a towering home run to deep left field on a high fastball.
So it's a 2-1 lead, and first ball swinging Orlando Palmeiro sends one past Tatis. Over quickly near the line to cut it off is Rusty Grieve. Palmeiro will hold at first. 3 straight hits off Bobby Witt here in the second, and Anaheim leads it 2-1.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. When Bobby first came up, he had the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Settled into a range over the years, probably 89 to 92 and occasionally higher. But when you don't have that same velocity, you can't get away with some of the same mistakes. The better the velocity, the better chance you have of getting away with a mistake, having the ball fouled straight back. But when it's 84, 85 miles an hour, big league hitters take advantage of it, and that's what Nevin did on the high fastball.
Orlando Palmeiro, the runner at first base. For Nevin, it was his 4th home run of the year. He now has 11 RBIs. Going with a different look to the lineup tonight than the first 3 games of this series. The Angels getting the night off as we begin play this evening.
You see the delivery from Bobby Witt. One of the things that the pitchers have to contend with early in the game is the sun coming through the exits. I don't know if that affected runs up on the board.
There's a strike to Bachman. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bachman was injured earlier this month, took a line drive, suffered a cut, a laceration on his chin and lip. But back in there in the starting lineup tonight. Norberto Martin has been starting at second base for the Angels. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's hit to the left side. Cedeno will go to second. He'll throw it away into right field. Up and running to third is Orlando Palmeiro. Runners at the corners for the Angels with 1 out in the second.
Well, this is going to be a very tough play to get the force out at second base for Domingo Cedeno. He charges the ball, but it's going to be a very close play, and it's going to take a tricky flip to make an accurate throw. On this play, you're probably better off making sure that you get an out at first base. There's nothing Alicea can do to reach for the ball because the base runner is sliding right into him. That's Orlando Palmeiro. Probably a little bit too risky a play, and Domingo would have been better off going to first base to get 1 out.
For Cedeno, it's his 5th error of the season. Palmeiro, the runner at third. Bachman is running at first. Hasselman with the throw down, and it's in time. Nice tag by Alicea at second base. Bachman is thrown out. That is a huge second out.
Well, it sure is, with a man on third base and 1 out. That takes away the sacrifice fly, and that really helps Bobby Witt. And a good throw by Billy Hasselman. Gets rid of it quickly. The ball's into the runner. If you're going to be off target, you want to be off target toward first base, not toward third base, because that gives the fielder a chance to tag the runner. That's exactly what happened.
Gary DiSarcina is the hitter. It's 2 balls and no strikes. DiSarcina hitting .307 on the season with a couple of homers and 25 RBIs. He went hitless in last night's game as Hasselman goes to the mound to talk to his pitcher Bobby Witt. But on Saturday night, Gary DiSarcina had a 5-hit game in 4 runs batted in. Now you look at the batting average leaders in the month of June. DiSarcina hitting .417. Rafael Palmeiro with a nice time of it too. This one is hit past Tatis at third. In to score is Palmeiro, and DiSarcina has another extra base hit. Another run crosses for the Angels. It's a 3-run inning, a 3-1 lead.
And that makes the caught stealing a little bit more important. Of course, there's no guarantee that the same hit would have occurred if the base stealing attempt never happened. Bobby gets a pitch out over the plate about belt high. There's a look at it, actually on the inside part of the plate. But DiSarcina turns on it, pulls it sharply past Tatis at third base.
Angels have some hot hitters in the lineup. DiSarcina is one of them at the bottom of the order, and this guy at the top of the order is swinging a hot bat as well. Darren Erstad, in fact, he is the American League Player of the Week for last week. He hit .448 last week, 13 hits and 29 at bats. A couple of home runs as well. He leads the Angels in home runs with 15. Scored 7 runs at the top of the order. A couple of doubles and a triple as well. He popped to short his first time. There are 2 outs here in the second inning. With the man in scoring position, DiSarcina at second base. And the 0-1 pitch, Erstad sends it into shallow right field. On the run is Gonzalez. He makes the play. The 3-run score for the Angels in the second on 4 base hits. It's 3-1. Bobby Witt and the Rangers trail. It is a Monday night at the ballpark, and some are resting very comfortably here at the ballpark tonight. That's a tiny tot at the game tonight.
I wish I could sleep like that.
Bill Hasselman is the hitter. Facing Steve Sparks, it's a 3-1 lead. Anaheim over Texas. Hasselman hitting in the 6th spot in the batting order. 1 ball and 1 strike. Angels score 3 in their half of the second. Now the Rangers try to counter. There's a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hasselman, Stevens, and Cedeno against Steve Sparks here in the second inning. Well, Hasselman has made the most of his playing time. This one is hit foul third base side.
Knuckleball is such a tough pitch to control. That's why you don't see many knuckleball pitchers. To have command of it and to throw one consistently in the strike zone is very difficult. There's only been a few really successful knuckleball pitchers. One thing knuckleball pitchers do try to do, though, is change speeds on it. Sparks will throw a floater, if you will, and then try to speed it up a little bit. See Phil Nevin having a little trouble catching that last one. That's what Charlie Huff tried to do. He'd have a hard knuckleball, kind of a medium knuckleball, and then almost a change of pace knuckleball. Anything to throw the hitter's timing off more than the normal knuckleball would.
Well, he gets Bill Hasselman here.
Got Billy with a fastball, actually.
There's 1 out here in the second. It's Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports Southwest when Bernie Williams leads baseball's most relentless attack. The Bronx Bombers battle Jim Thome, Dave Justice, and the defending American League champions, the Yankees and the Indians. What a matchup that is. This Thursday, Baseball Thursday, 6 o'clock here on Fox Sports Southwest. Here is Lee Stevens facing Steve Sparks. Takes a ball 1-0. Stevens hitting .253 on the season, 12 homers and 34 RBIs. Johnny Oates waited until after batting practice this evening before making out his lineup. Wanted to see how Stevens responded in batting practice. He suffered the jammed thumb a couple of nights ago.
I was talking to Lee Stevens last night, Bill, and we thought that Lee had hurt his thumb on the ground ball that was hit to him. Actually, he hurt it on the double play ball that Scott Sheldon threw to him that skipped. It hit him right off the thumb. We never saw him hurt his thumb on that, but that's actually when it occurred. We thought it was maybe when he went down on the ground to make the play on the ground ball. He said that didn't help it any, but that's not actually how it occurred.
Well, he draws the walk here with 1 out. He showed no outward signs of it after the double play ball.
No. And the other thing, the throw from Scott Sheldon was not thrown that hard. He said it just came up and hit him right in the wrong spot, and he felt it immediately. But he's a tough guy, and he's got it wrapped up and back in there.
Here's Domingo Cedeno.
Said on his top hand, it's on his top hand, which is his left hand. He almost leaves the thumb off the bat anyway. If it was on the thumb of his right hand, which would be right below his left hand, it'd be much more difficult to swing the bat. But because it's his top hand, he felt that he'd be able to do it.
1-1 to Cedeno. There you take a look at Lee Stevens. Has the wrap on that left hand, the thumb area. Sparks with a throw to first base. Steve Sparks got his first career win here at May of 97 innings against Texas. Member of the Milwaukee. A leadoff double.
Shipley getting an opportunity to play today in place of Dave Hollins, giving Hollins a rest. It's a pitch out over the plate. Let's take a look at it from Bobby. That's the slider that just spins and never breaks down and away. Bobby calls it a cement mixer because of the way it spins and never curves. And that was the cement mixer, hit well by Shipley to left center field. Sometimes pitchers will call it a spiral because the way the slider spins. You want that thing to go down and curve away. That one just kind of stayed right up there in the hitting zone.
This one is hit on the ground to Alicea to the right side. It moves the runner along to third. Jim Edmonds is the out at first base, but now with 1 out, the Angels have a man at third base just 90 feet away.
Looks like the Rangers will play the infield in with 1 out and a man at third for Tim Salmon.
Here you take a look at the Ranger infield. Clark and Alicea on the right side as Bobby Witt works against Tim Salmon, the designated hitter for the Angels. He is relegated to DH duties because of a foot injury. And against the Rangers in his career, even though he has played for the most part in right field, he has been designated to hit the ball against Texas. Some big numbers against the Rangers in his career. In fact, he has the opponent's top batting average against Texas. That one gets away, but just a few feet away from Hasselman to his left. 2 balls and no strikes to Salmon. Salmon flied to center field his first time. Shipley leads off this inning with a double, moves to third on the grounder to the right side, and Salmon tries to pick him up. You see the Aussie Craig Shipley at third base. And the 2-0 pitch to Salmon. It's now 3 balls and no strikes.
I've got a fact about Craig Shipley I bet you didn't know.
And what might that be?
His wife is the sister of my daughter's roommate in college.
I did not know that.
I didn't think you would know that.
All right, his wife is the sister of your daughter's roommate at Auburn.
Right.
3 balls and 1 strike. It's a small world, you know?
It really is.
Craig Shipley grew up in Australia, came to the States, and he went to the University of Alabama.
Yes, he did.
This one is hit foul. So that makes some sense. It's Auburn and Alabama.
Not sure where he met his wife. That is very close to being an extra base hit. Also very close to hitting Craig Shipley at third base.
Shipley at third, Salmon at the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes now as Witt fell behind 3-0. And this one is hit high in the air to left field. Rusty gets under it. The tag at third base by Shipley, and he will score. It's a sacrifice fly for Tim Salmon. It's a 4-1 lead, Anaheim over Texas, as we play here in the top of the third now with 2 outs.
Well, the way Salmon is hit against the Rangers and the pitch that he just had to hit, the Rangers are probably somewhat lucky that it stayed in the ballpark. He had a big swing and just got underneath it. Ended up with a sacrifice fly, but he gets a pretty good pitch to hit at. Right out over the plate, has a nice swing, just gets underneath it and flies out to deep left field.
There's a strike catch in the outside corner to Garrett Anderson. He's up there with 2 outs, a run in here in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And now Witt's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Johnny Oates was talking before the game. He thought too much of a big deal was made about Bobby Witt being pushed back into rotation. He just wanted Oliver to face the Angels because of the matchups. Now Witt winds up facing the Angels anyway. He's pushed back a couple of days, but there's no doubt that Bobby has struggled with that earned run average way up there.
I think that's why the big deal was made, just because Bobby has been struggling. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of times for a certain series where managers will shuffle their rotation because of the matchups. In the case of the Angels, they have a lot of left-hand hitters. Erstad is a left-hand hitter. Anderson, Edmonds. It makes sense that you might want a lefty to face him.
Garrett Anderson gets a hold of this one. He sends it deep to right center, and it's into the Ranger bullpen. A home run for Garrett Anderson. It's his 8th of the season, and it's a 2-run inning now for the Angels, a 5-1 lead.
Bobby's just not getting away with any mistakes. When he's throwing a ball up and out over the plate, the Angels are swinging at it and hitting it well. That's another pitch that wasn't in the exact location that Bobby wanted it to be in, and Garrett Anderson takes advantage of it and hits it out of the ballpark. About belt high and out over the plate.
Second home run that Anderson has hit in this series. That one goes into the Ranger bullpen, and now there will be action in the Ranger bullpen. Garrett Anderson now with 8 homers and 33 RBIs on the season. 5-1 Anaheim over Texas here in the third. Anderson is 2 for 2 in this game. What a series he is having. He is 7 for 16 in the series now, with a couple of doubles and a couple of home runs. Here is Phil Nevin, the man who went deep the first time against Bobby Witt in the second inning. Action in the Ranger bullpen. Tim Crabtree is up and throwing early in this one. There's a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Witt went 6 1/3 innings in his start against the Padres 8 days ago. And strike 3 called. Nevin goes down on 3 pitches this time, but the Angels score a couple. Garrett Anderson with the home run here in the third inning. It's a 5-1 lead, Anaheim over Texas. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, let's join Kevin Eschenfelder in our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a sports break. Kevin?
Thank you very much.
The Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. And by the Discover Card, who will donate $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation for every Rangers grand slam in today's game. Back here at the ballpark in Arlington, the Rangers have fallen behind the Angels early in this one. It's a 5-1 lead for Anaheim. And it is the top of the order for Texas here in the third. 2 balls and no strikes to Tom Goodwin, who popped to third his first time. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Steve Sparks 0-4 at AAA Vancouver. There's a strike, 3-1. Ball gets away. Phil Nevin behind the plate. You know, Nevin behind the plate catching a knuckleball pitcher. This is a guy who didn't start catching again until when he was in the Detroit organization a couple of years ago. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. This was Nevin a couple of pitches ago. Just got away from him a little bit high.
Nevin was the first pick in the draft a number of years ago by the Houston Astros. Cal State Fullerton. I believe he was a third baseman in college.
Terrific athlete. Sparks gets good one. That's the second strikeout in the second straight inning that Sparks has let off an inning with a strikeout.
Behind in the count, he doesn't want to walk him on a knuckleball. Looks like he throws him a little cut fastball on the inside part of the plate. Pretty good pitch, really. There's a look at it. Sinking fastball down and in. Gets Goodwin swinging.
Here's Luis Alicea. Takes a ball 1-0. In fact, for Phil Nevin, the '96 season, 2 years ago, he was at Jacksonville in the minor league system with the Tigers. And that's when he spent the majority of the season learning how to catch, basically. It was his first time to catch since high school.
That's probably the best thing that Nevin has done to further his career. He's having a hard time breaking in as a third baseman or an outfielder. When he did take that time to go down and learn how to catch, it's kind of opened up his career for him and increased his possibilities of getting into a game. And he's doing a good job now.
Alicea hits this one to Erstad. And there is the second out in the third inning. Sparks gets the first 2 he faces in the third, and it'll be Rusty Greer's turn. You know, another thing about Phil Nevin behind the plate, Terry Collins, of course, very familiar with Nevin, as Nevin was in the Astros organization. So Nevin lands with the Angels as Terry Collins, the manager of Anaheim.
A guy like Nevin, who can learn how to catch, can get an opportunity to play a long time in the big leagues, even if he's not playing as a regular, as a utility guy. Guys that can play the infield, the outfield, and catch can be very valuable. Managers don't like to carry 3 catchers on their staff. It really limits their possibilities late in a ball game to maneuver if 3 of your extra men are catchers. With so many managers going with 12 pitchers now, in a lot of cases there's only 4 extra men. If one of those extra men is a third catcher who can play a number of different positions, he becomes very valuable. A lot of teams are looking for those kind of guys. They like versatility with your extra men.
3-1 pitch also finds the strike zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a little more dangerous to throw the fastball to Rusty Greer 3-1 and 3-2 than it is Tom Goodwin, who's not a home run hitter. Let's see if Sparks backs up that fastball with another one. Yep.
Right side over is Bachman. He makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Sparks in the third. We're through 3 at the ballpark, and the Rangers trail by 4. The Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by Texas Million, the new game from the Texas Lottery, with drawings held every Friday night at 9:59. It's a nice Monday evening in June at the ballpark in Arlington, but the Rangers don't like what they're seeing on the scoreboard right now. The Angels have jumped out to the early lead against Bobby Witt. It's 5-1. Anaheim over Texas as the Angels try to take 3 out of 4 in this series against the first place team in the West. Rangers starting the night with a 1.5-game lead on Anaheim in the West. So they are assured of being in first place even if the Angels do win tonight. Palmeiro into center field. And Orlando Palmeiro is hitting the ball very well.
Johnny Oates will get the bullpen going again. Probably Tim Crabtree, who was warmed up last inning. It won't take him long to get ready. And I don't believe that he'll go too much longer with Bobby Witt. Another man gets on, that could be it. Palmeiro choked up by a couple of inches. Hits another shot. This one up the middle for a base hit. This could be an important at bat for Bobby. He needs to get this guy out.
Justin Bachman is the hitter, to be followed by the number 9 hitter, Gary DiSarcina, who had an RBI double in the second. It was a fielder's choice for Bachman. Cedeno made an error on the play and allowed Palmeiro to move on to third base. 0-1 pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Witt does have 1 strikeout tonight. Got it to end the third inning. Got Phil Nevin.
It's Bachman to fish for a ball in the dirt.
So Witt's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. With a man on, nobody out. That one's low and away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last 9 starts for Bobby, a 3-3 record, but an ERA over 9. Witt, of course, a Ranger first-round draft pick, number 3 overall pick back in the mid-'80s. Throw over to first base. Witt now 34 years old. Rangers trying to get some production out of the starting rotation. Got a big shot in the arm from Rick Helling last night, but it has been a struggle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larry Boa, third base coaching box. There's the runner at first, Palmeiro. Angels without Cecil Fielder in the lineup tonight, as well as Dave Hollins and Matt Walbeck, who has caught the first 3 games of this series. Now it comes down to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Justin Bachman.
Big pitch right here. This is a ball. It's probably Bobby's last pitch. See if they run the runner at first base. They are.
And it is a foul ball, third base side. The valiant attempt down the line.
They can't believe it.
Leadoff single to Palmeiro, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Justin Bachman. There goes the runner again. It's a check swing foul.
Bobby got a break on that pitch. That was up and out of the strike zone. You can see Bachman shaking his head. Tried to check his swing. The ball ticked his bat. Bobby will get another chance. Bachman will get another chance. As you look at the pitch, well out of the strike zone. Can't quite check his swing. He actually checked his swing in time. It wouldn't have been a strike if he didn't make contact.
And again we do it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again the runner takes off, and this one is hit to center field. Goodwin is there. He makes the play, and returning to first is Orlando Palmeiro. It took 8 pitches, but finally Bobby Witt is able to retire Justin Bachman for the first out in the 4th.
Well, that was a pitch out of the strike zone. Bachman's running by the umpire asking him if it was a ball. Bachman's walked 1 time in 69 at bats, so he's probably having a little bit difficulty determining a ball from a strike. It's one of those borderline pitches, but it is high. Would have been ball 4. One of the things Bachman will have to learn as time goes on is discipline at the plate.
You look at the second baseman for the Angels, and
they're swinging, aren't they?
Norberto Martinez 3 walks on the season, and Bachman has 1.
Martin 3 times as many walks. The other side of it, Bachman's hitting pretty well. He's hitting .290, 9 RBIs and only 69 at bats.
And another base hit for DiSarcina. Around second, headed to third is Palmeiro, and with 1 out, the Angels have runners at the corners. DiSarcina had an RBI double in the second. He gets a single in the fourth, and that will bring Johnny Oates out of the Ranger dugout.
Crabtree has been warmed up, and it looked like one more batter was all that Bobby would get if he got on base, and the single by DiSarcina puts an end to Bobby's outing tonight.
Angels lead it 5-1 as we play here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 men on. There's 1 out. Johnny Oates makes the call to the bullpen. It'll be Crabtree's turn when we come back in just a moment. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Bobby Witt has been knocked out of this game. He trails the Angels 5-1. The couple on and 1 out here in the 4th inning. And let's check in one more time with John Radigan. John?
Hey, Bill, I tell you what, I'm with one of 5 people in the stadium right now who got in here without going through the turnstiles. They have tickets to the game, but they didn't go through the turnstiles because they came in from the sky. Ty Clark is with the United States Air Force Stars parachute team. And Ty, tonight was a special night for you. What?
Tonight I made my 2,000th jump.
And how significant was it?
It was very significant. That's a true, honor for me to reach that, and I've only had 1 injury in that 12-year career, so that's pretty good.
And he's got a baseball that he caught up here too tonight. I'm going to go hit the turnstile 5 more times just so we know exactly how many people are here. Bill and Tom, back to you guys.
All right, John.
He looks like he's about 22 years old. He's been doing it for 12 years. 2,000 jumps. I haven't made my first one yet. How about you?
I haven't either, and I don't plan to make it anytime soon either.
I don't have courage to do that.
Nope. It takes a lot of courage. Darren Erstad is the hitter facing Tim Crabtree in relief of Bobby Witt. And Erstad sends it to left field. Going back is Rusty, back near the track. The tag by Palmeiro. He will score from third. Holding on at first is DiSarcina. A sacrifice fly for Darren Erstad, and it's now a 6-1 lead, Anaheim over Texas. Two outs now in the 4th inning.
Well, I was all ready to say that Tim Crabtree throws a hard sinker, and what he needed was a good ground ball to get a double play, but didn't have time to say it, and he didn't get the ground ball. Fly ball brought in the 6th run. Rangers now down by 5. Tim's 3 victories ties him for 3rd, I believe, in the league. Actually 2nd in relief wins. Tim's going to add to that tonight. The Rangers are going to have to come back with some runs. A hard time getting runs off Steve Sparks tonight. Only 1 through the first 3 innings.
6-1 Anaheim over Texas. There goes the runner, and it's a foul ball right side. Crabtree's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes now. Couple of singles for the Angels off Bobby Witt here in the 4th inning. They scored 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and now 1 here in the 4th inning to take this 5-run lead. That is in tight, and it hit him. Shipley awarded first base. On an 0-2 pitch, Crabtree comes inside, and it just grazes Craig Shipley.
Crabtree trying to throw in right here. Hasselman is set up in. The ball tails in. Shipley starts his swing and can't get out of the way. Nothing intentional about the pitch. It hit him in the right forearm.
So now Crabtree must face Jim Edmonds with runners at first and second and 2 outs in the 4th. Edmonds is 0 for 2 in this game. A fly to center and a grounder to second base. Crabtree misses away, 1 ball and no strikes.
That was a changeup, and that's something Tim is trying to work on, something to complement his mid-90s fastball and hard slider, something off speed to give the hitter something else to look at.
This one is hit to Cedeno at short. Alicea covers at second, and they do get the force on Shipley coming down. So the Rangers able to get out of the fourth inning. Only 1 run scores, and it's 6-1 Anaheim over Texas through 3.5. The Arlington School of Baseball at the Batting Barn presents a summer baseball camp with Nolan Ryan. Come meet and learn from the Major League's all-time strikeout leader. The camp will be held from July 13th through the 17th. For complete details, call 817-468-2294. Operators are standing by. It's the middle of July, the Nolan Ryan Baseball Camp at the Arlington School of Baseball at the Batting Barn. 6-1 Anaheim over Texas, and Juan Gonzalez leads things off against Steve Sparks, who had a 1-2-3 third inning. Big cut by Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one is hit to short. DeSarcina makes the play, and there is 1 up, 1 down for Steve Sparks here in the 4th inning.
There's the pitches to Juan Gonzalez, all knuckleballs, a little bit high. Almost the same pitch as swing and a miss. This is a good knuckleball. This one dipped at the end. Juan hit it fairly well, right straight to DeSarcina at shortstop.
Sparks working with a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning, facing Will Clark now. Clark has given up just 2 hits, or rather Sparks has given up just 2 hits through now 3 1/3 innings. 1 run scoring in the 1st inning, 2 of those hits in the 1st. That's 1 walk since the 1st inning. It's all he's given up. And this one is hit to the right side. Erstad to the pitcher covering, and there are 2 outs in the 4th. Well, Clark is retired, and that'll bring up Bill Hasselman. Our trivia question tonight is brought to you by the Associates. Name the last team to win 3 straight World Series titles. Hasselman is the hitter. Of course, the Chicago Bulls, the team of the 90s in basketball, now with 6 world titles. Last baseball team to win 3 in a row. Hasselman struck out his first time against Sparks, who has retired 7 in a row now.
If that was Michael Jordan's last game, he sure went out in style.
Yes, he did.
Stole the ball, made the last shot, 45 points.
Saw the replay of that. Almost like he posed on that last shot. Kept the shooting hand in the air.
This might be my last shot. I want to make sure you capture it with the right picture.
I think he'll be back, though.
I do, too.
DeSarcina at short. And 3 ground ball outs in the 4th inning. 5 in a row for Steve Sparks with the ground ball outs. Rangers trail it by 5. Our trivia question earlier from the Associates. Name the last team to win 3 straight World Series titles. And the answer now, the Oakland Athletics, 1972 through 74. And the A's will be in town starting tomorrow night. This is Tim Salmon to lead things off. Fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. Of course, those teams in the 70s had a right fielder by the name of Reggie Jackson. The team of the 90s for the A's has a right fielder by the name of Ben Grieve.
They got a little ways to go to match up with that team of the 70s.
It'll be fun, though, starting tomorrow night.
Yes, it will.
Ben back home and sleeping in his own bed tonight, right?
He is. Sleeping in the bed that he slept in when he went to high school, actually. Hope he's not listening right now. He'd be very upset that we're talking about that.
A's have already arrived in town as they are off today. They just took 3 of 4 from the Mariners over the weekend in Oakland.
They became one of many teams to take advantage of that Seattle bullpen.
Salmon had a sacrifice fly his last time, and it'll be Kenny Rogers on the mound for the A's tomorrow night.
Boy, Kenny's been pitching very well. He lost his last start to the Dodgers. I think it was 1-0. He looks like the old Kenny Rogers this year. Once he got out of New York, relaxing in Oakland, pitching just like you'd expect Kenny Rogers to pitch, doing a great job for the A's. One of the leaders on their staff. That's what they got him for, and that's what he's providing for him.
And Salmon goes around. Crabtree with the strikeout of Tim Salmon to start the 5th inning. Take a look at the pitches to Tim Salmon. Then again, perhaps not. It was a strikeout.
Hey, you already saw the pitches to him. You don't have to see him again.
Crabtree gets Salmon, and Garrett Anderson is the next hitter. Yeah, Kenny Rogers, a 6-3 record with the A's, and in his last start against the Dodgers went 7 innings, gave up no earned runs on 2 hits. Rogers goes in game 1 of that series, then Mike Oquist on Wednesday, and then the Rangers face another knuckleballer, Tom Candiotti, on Thursday afternoon. 2 knuckleballers in the span of 4 days the Rangers will be facing here.
Mike Oquist has been pitching well for Oakland. He's won 4 straight decisions.
Anderson into left. Coming on is Grieve. He has it. There's the second out in the 5th. Rangers tomorrow night will be throwing Matt Parasho at the A's. Parasho has arrived in the Metroplex. The roster move has not been made yet. The Rangers will make that decision tomorrow as to who will be sent out, and Matt Parasho will be called up from AAA Oklahoma to make his first start as a Ranger. Parasho, a former Anaheim Angel. Phil Nevin is the hitter. You're talking about, Tom, how young the Air Force skydiver looked a moment ago. Matt Parasho and Jared Washburn were side by side talking to each other before the game today, and it makes you feel a lot older when you see these young faces that are in the big leagues now.
Yeah, they look like a couple of bat boys. To us, that's what they look like. Or to me, actually. You're a lot younger.
To me,
you're a lot younger than I am. Who am I talking about?
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Having a couple of brewskis. Bet you they didn't have any of those about 2 hours ago before they jumped out of that airplane.
1-2 to Nevin, and it's hit to the left side. Tatis with the charge. He guns it over. Nevin is retired. Well, Crabtree with a nice 3-up, 3-down inning in the 5th. We're halfway through this one on a Monday night in Arlington. Rangers have some catching up to do. It's the ballpark in Arlington on a beautiful Monday night for baseball. Glad you could join us here on Fox Sports Southwest. We are halfway through this one. Bill Jones and Tom Grieve describing the action, and the Rangers are in need of some action right now. They have not been able to muster much against the knuckleballer Steve Sparks through the first 4 innings. In fact, Sparks has retired 8 in a row since he walked Lee Stevens in the 2nd inning, and Lee Stevens leads things off here. And Stevens sends this one to right center field. It is way back. The first pitch he sees, and it hits the railing off the upper deck in the home run porch. The Rangers have awakened in the bottom of the 5th.
That's a long way to hit a baseball. And Lee Stevens looked like he lunged at the pitch, was way out in front of it, and sends it way over the bullpen. Not many balls go off the facing or into the upper deck in that section of the upper deck. Barry Bonds hit one there last year. That pitch is down and away. Stevens reaches for it. He's out in front of it and hits it off the facing of the upper deck. Boy, he's got some power to hit a ball like that.
I don't think the thumb is bothering Lee Stevens.
I don't think it bothered him on that one, that's for sure.
The Rangers have a home run tonight to lead off the 5th inning. Lee Stevens, his 13th of the season, now 35 RBIs for Stevens. That is Stevens' first home run in the month of June. Cedeno down, no balls and 2 strikes now. Rangers have been hitting a lot of home runs of late. In fact, even in the 18-6 loss on Saturday to the Angels, the Rangers hit 4 home runs. Mike Sims homered in last night's game. There's Sims. Will Clark. And Cedeno, this one is into shallow right center. Edmonds has it. There's 1 out in the 5th. Your ticket to win in San Antonio. For all our San Antonio viewers, be sure to listen to Charlie Parker weekday mornings on Sports Radio 760 The Ticket for your chance to see the Rangers in Tampa Bay on July 18th. Travel is provided by Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom, providing 15 daily non-stops from San Antonio to Dallas Love Field. Fernando Tatis is the hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a strike, 1 and 2. Well, Tatis has struggled at the plate of late. 1 for 12 in the series coming into this game. Flied to right field his first time tonight. He is 1 for his last 18 right now. Count holds at 1 and 2.
He's gotten away just a little bit from that stroke that really got his average back up there. Instead of trying to pull the ball with that big, huge swing, he was hitting a lot of balls to right center field, and he's gotten them varied back to the old swing just a little bit over the last 4 or 5 games. Something you constantly have to be aware of, work on, can come and go on you.
Numbers in home games much better than on the road. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here. And a swing and a miss. Sparks gets Tatis for the 2nd out of the 5th. How about this Steve Sparks? He was 0-4 in 7 starts at Double-A Midland.
Like something other than a fastball, other than a knuckleball, down and away.
0-1 to Goodwin.
And there probably haven't been many pitchers called up to the big leagues who were 0-8 in the minor leagues before their call up. Sparks is pitching a nice game tonight. And in Triple-A, even though he was 0-4, his ERA was under 3, and he pitched pretty well.
This is back to Sparks. He fields it and fires to first. And after the leadoff homer by Lee Stevens, he retires the Rangers in order. We're through 5, and the Rangers trail now by 4. Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Sprint PCS. Experience the clear alternative to cellular today. It's a 6-2 lead, Anaheim over Texas, as we are through 5 innings now here at the ballpark in Arlington. Rangers get the home run from Lee Stevens to lead off the 5th inning, and Sparks was able to retire them 1-2-3 after that. Tim Crabtree now, who came on in relief of Bobby Witt in the 4th inning, moves into the 6th inning and faces Orlando Palmeiro, who had a couple of singles against Witt. And Palmeiro around on this one, sends it deep down the line in right. Fair or foul? It is a foul ball. Palmeiro making a bid down the line, but it is foul. Look again how close it is. Palmeiro with some good numbers at AAA Vancouver. He was called up earlier this month. This is his 7th game and hitting over 500 now. He is 6 for 11. Getting a start in left field tonight, as Darren Erstad has moved from left field to first base. Cecil Fielder out of the lineup. And strike 3 call. Crabtree gets Palmeiro to start the 6th.
Dale Ford puts a lot into that strike 3 call. Take a look at the umpire, Dale Ford. Watch his call. Right on the outside corner. Good fastball by Crabtree. There's the start of it, and there's the finish. Palmeiro had pulled the ball foul, almost a home run. Crabtree got him with that good mid-90 fastball right on the outside corner.
Crabtree now facing Justin Bachman here. Palmeiro left shaking his head in the Angel dugout. Bachman 0 for 2 in this game. This is hit to Cedeno, and he retires Bachman. 2 up, 2 down for the Angels in the 6th. Your group of 25 or more can receive a $1 discount per ticket to any Sunday through Thursday game in designated sections here at the ballpark. Tickets must be purchased 24 hours in advance of the game, so start planning your group now. Call Metro 817-273-5100. Lots of groups at the ballpark tonight. DeSarcina fouls it off right side. A nice crowd for a Monday night here at the ballpark against the Angels. At 36,600 here last night. A sellout, 7th of the year on Saturday night. 46,000 and 35,500 on Friday night. This may be the 2nd best crowd of the 4-game series tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike to DeSarcina. Rangers will need to rally in the last 4 innings if they are to split this series, however, against the Angels. Angels have been playing well of late. They're looking for their 13th win in the last 15 games. DeSarcina now hitting .313 as he gets a couple of hits tonight. Almost hit for the cycle in Saturday's game. Three balls and 1 strike. Crabtree was one of the Ranger pitchers who worked in that Saturday game against the Angels. He also appeared in Friday's game. There's a strike, and the count is full at 3-2. And there's a 2-out walk. So the number 9 hitter DeSarcina draws the walk. That's the first issued by Crabtree tonight after the game. It's Fox Sports News Primetime. All the scores, all the stories, all the action from your primetime team. We are there. Fox Sports News Primetime tonight, immediately after Rangers baseball. Well, Scott Bales is up in the Ranger bullpen. There are 2 outs and a runner at first base for the Angels here in the 6th. And the left-handed hitting Darren Erstad is at the plate. Erstad is 0 for 2 in this game. He had a sacrifice fly his first time. Crabtree with a throw over. Bobby Witt starts this game for Texas and went the first 3 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, no walks and 1 strikeout. Crabtree comes on in the 4th inning. But the Angels get out to the big early lead against Witt, and this one is hit into left field. Grieve is over, and he can't handle it. Putting on the brakes at third is DiSarcina. Unrusty-like in left field.
I'm not sure what happened to Rusty on that ball. The ball was hit well, and it was slicing a little bit away from Rusty, but he's there in plenty of time. He's got his eye right on the ball, just closed his glove too soon. He had his glove ready to catch the ball, and instead of leaving the glove open for the ball to go in, he mistimed closing his glove, and it hit off the back of his glove.
Rusty's first error of the season. Second error by a Ranger outfielder this season. It's the second error of the night for Texas. Cedeno had one earlier, and that led to a run. So Erstad's at second, DiSarcina at third, and now Crabtree must face Craig Shipley. It's one downstairs, 1-0. Well, it's ironic that Johnny Oates before the game was talking about the fielding of Rusty Grieve in left field, and was talking about how he thought it was a total aberration, the 11 errors that Rusty had last year, some goofy things happening last year. And on the night that Johnny's talking about it, we see an unrusty-like error in left field. Well, we've seen some terrific plays by Grieve here in the last week, including one last night on the run. He took one away from Gary DiSarcina in the left center field gap last night. Here's the play by Grieve last night in the 3rd inning. Long run, and as he reaches the track, he's able to haul it in. This is hit to right field. Going back is Gonzalez, reaching up, and one saves Rusty. Nice play by Gonzalez in right field. So one outfielder takes up for another one there. It's a 6-2 lead, Angels over the Rangers, as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Juan Gonzalez with high fives all around in the Ranger dugout. The Angels left 2 men on base in the top half of this inning. Juan going back for this one, Tom.
Well, that's a tough play. That ball's hit right over his head. Got a good jump on it. Took a little bit of a curved route toward it, but he gets back and makes a nice play right in front of the warning track. And showing his athletic ability. A little bit unappreciated as a defensive player. Not better than some people give him credit for. People that watch him play a lot know that he is a very solid right fielder. And he works hard at it too. A lot of times in the heat, Juan will be out here well before batting practice while Ed Napoleon hits him line drives, ground balls, fly balls out there for 10 or 15 minutes before he ever takes batting practice or before he ever stretches. He really works on his outfield play. He wants to be known more than just a slugger. He wants to be known as an all-around ball player, and the work is paying off. Even the great fielders still take a lot of ground balls, a lot of fly balls. Fielding is not something that you just take for granted or comes easily. You really have to work on it and practice at it. And even the great ones, even the Gold Glovers, are out there day after day. The repetition, getting comfortable, working on their footwork, practicing making the defensive plays. It's not something you just show up and do. You have to work at it.
Alicea gets this one past Bachman into right center. Alicea is on a leadoff single for Texas here in the 6th inning. I think that's something that really sets the great players apart, their practice habits, as you look at Alicea with the base hit.
Well, it's a pitch about a little bit above the belt. Well, he likes that ball up there. He rips another base hit. Came in today at 278. He's got his average up in the mid 280s now. A couple of hits off Chuck Finley last night, batting left-handed. Looking good from the left side.
Big chance for the Rangers here in the 6th as The meat of the order comes up now against Steve Sparks. They've seen him a couple of times now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the Angels have to love what they've gotten out of Steve Sparks tonight. As of Saturday, they did not know even who would be starting on Monday in the finale of this series, as Ken Hill had to go on the disabled list. He has surgery tomorrow. Bone spurs in his elbow. He'll be out a couple of months at least. So they go to their minor league system and call upon a pitcher, Steve Sparks, who as late as May 21st was pitching at Double-A Midland with an 0-4 record and ERA over 7.
I don't think he envisioned this day back then. Baseball's a funny game. A lot of times when there's an injury or an unexpected occurrence in a pitching staff, a team will look to the minor leagues, and a lot depends on who just pitched and when your next scheduled start is. There may be a very qualified guy, but if he's just pitched in a game, you can't very well call him up to pitch in a big league game.
Down the line in right, Garrett Anderson has it, and there is 1 out.
The other thing that plays a part in the call-up is experience, and Sparks has big league experience. He's been here before. He's pitched in this ballpark before. So his start came up on the right day. His experience worked in his favor. And the way he pitched in his last couple of starts down there certainly helped him. As we mentioned earlier, he had a start where he didn't walk a batter, struck out 10, pitched a complete game. And he was paying back the Angels for their decision to call him up tonight, pitching a nice ball game.
Juan Gonzalez is the hitter. Well, you have to like a guy who lists as his hobbies, Steve Sparks lists as his hobbies, watching the Andy Griffith Show.
He's not the only one. I've seen that with a lot of guys in the big leagues.
That's what I would put down too.
In fact, I think Buck Showalter has a tape of every single one of those shows.
I wish I had them.
Well, next time you see Buck Showalter, maybe he'll make you some copies. Was that your #1 show?
Yes, it was. In fact, you remember last week we were in Denver, and I told you I scheduled my whole morning.
That's right.
Last Monday in Denver around watching the Andy Griffith Show on WGN, and then because on the hotel television it showed that we'd get WGN. I looked in the TV guide from 9 to 10 we'd be able to watch the Andy Griffith Show, and then we didn't get WGN. I was so disappointed.
Well, no wonder you were in such a bad mood that night. You missed the Andy Griffith Show. Well, who's your main guy in that show? You're a Barney guy.
Love Barney.
Tough not to like Barney.
You gotta like the old episodes too. Gomer Pyle. Two balls, 2 strikes. In fact, for Steve Sparks, when he learned that he was getting called back up to the major leagues with an 0-8 minor league record this year, his reaction probably would have been one like Gomer Pyle would have had. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Golly!
There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rangers trying to get to Steve Sparks. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. '81 pitches now for the knuckleballer Sparks. He also lists as one of his hobbies, he likes to whistle show tunes. And that's a good one to whistle too. Gonzalez had a sacrifice fly in his first plate appearance in the 1st inning, his 81st RBI of the season. Now ahead of Mark McGwire in that category, as the Cardinals are off tonight. McGwire has 80. Juan would like to add to it here. He does have a couple of home runs in his career off Sparks. But Sparks gets him this time. Strikeout for out #2 here in the 6th. It's everyone's favorite Decker Foods Dollar Hot Dog Night at the ballpark tomorrow. Spend the evening with the Rangers, the Athletics, and all of the dollar dogs you can eat tomorrow night. 7:35 for tickets. Stop by any Dillard's box office or call Metro 817-273-5100. Will Clark is the hitter. Clark, Phil Nevin behind the plate. Not sure what Clark was motioning to there. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clark is grounded to first his 2 plate appearances.
Big swing. Goes down on 1 knee on that swing.
Well, Sparks has gotten Greer on a fly to right and struck out Gonzalez after the leadoff single by Alicea here in the 6th. And Clark tries to pick him up. Rangers have not had many opportunities against Sparks tonight. Checking his swing is Clark, and he went around, says the third base umpire, Ted Barrett.
That was a good knuckleball. It's probably the best knuckleball Sparks has thrown tonight. This one really danced down and out of the strike zone. Almost checked it, but he went.
And I think he knew it too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sparks taking his time on the mound, so Clark steps out. Moves that one away, 2-2. Sparks pitching in the big leagues for the first time since the '96 season. Had the Tommy John surgery on his right elbow last year. Out off right side.
It wasn't too long ago that Tim Wakefield came up about midway through the season with the Pirates. It was a real shot in the arm to their pennant stretch drive. Won 7 or 8 ball games for them. Steve Sparks pitches well tonight. Who knows? May get a chance to stay in the rotation.
Saved by Nevin behind the plate. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the Angels are in need of someone stepping up. We talked about the injury to Ken Hill. They've had a couple of other pitchers in their starting rotation go down due to injuries. 2 others on the disabled list. Alan Watson, who is just starting a rehab at AA Midland this week, and also Jack McDowell. Slowly hit to Shipley at third. Clark is retired, and after a leadoff single, the Rangers go quietly in the 6th. We head to the 7th when we come back, and the Rangers trail by 4. It's time for the game summary, brought to you by Gatorade. We're through 6 innings here at the ballpark in Arlington, and Steve Sparks has given up 4 hits and 2 runs through those 6 innings. The Angels 5 through 7 hitters. Anderson, Nevin, and Palmeiro a combined 5 for 9 with 2 home runs and 5 runs scored. Steve Sparks has been tough. He got Hasselman. He got Goodwin. He gets Tatis as well. Sparks, the native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and played his collegiate baseball at Sam Houston State in Huntsville. He has been sharp for 6 innings. Go to the 7th now. Sparks has thrown 90 pitches through 6 innings. Edmonds, Salmon, and Anderson to face the new pitcher for Texas, 3rd pitcher of the night. Scott Bales, the left-hander, is on to face the left-handed hitting Jim Edmonds.
Scotty 1-0 on the season. This will be his 31st ball game. He had a 7-game scoreless streak snapped. Gave up a season-high 3 runs in his last appearance. ERA at 4.63.
Came on in the 5th inning of that 18-6 loss to the Angels on Saturday. This is the third game out of this 4-game series that Bales has appeared for the Rangers. No balls and 2 strikes to Edmonds. Bales tries to keep this a 4-run lead for Anaheim and give his hitters another chance. And Edmonds is a strikeout victim to start the 7th. So Bales gets the first hitter, and he has been effective against first hitters this season. They are now 4 for 30 against him.
When he comes from that 3/4 angle with a breaking ball and keeps it down and away, he is very tough on left-hand hitters. Edmonds is no slouch at the plate. He makes him look bad on that sweeping breaking ball down and out of the strike zone.
First batters are hitting 133 now against Scott Bales. Here's Tim Salmon. He is hitless in this game, but did have a sacrifice fly, his 33rd RBI of the season back in the 3rd inning. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ranger pitching staff has given up 9 or more runs in a game in 4 of their last 11 games. A good pitching performance last night, though, from Rick Helling and John Wetland, a combined 4-hitter against these hot-hitting Angels.
And a beautiful play by a little guy with a glove. Pudge Rodriguez shirt on. There he is. That's why you bring your glove. His mom was going to the concession stand. She was up in the walkway jumping up and down and yelling.
Really?
She was happy. One of those memories you'll never forget.
Time called by Salmon. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes here. That one's downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers and Angels in a stretch here where these 2 teams play each other 7 times over a span of 10 games. And the Angels have taken 2 of the first 3 against the Rangers. Rangers will head to Anaheim Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday evening. And then after that, it'll be September before these 2 clubs face each other again. September 16th. A long way off. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the thing about the balanced schedule in the American League. You play your division rivals equal number of times as you do teams from other divisions in the American League. This is to right center field. Long run for Gonzalez. He looks up, and that ball is up, and it is out of here. A shot to right center field off the bat of Tim Salmon, and he has done it again against the Rangers.
That's one of the hardest hit line drives we've seen in this ballpark. Sometimes when the wind is blowing in hard, the ball will shoot out on a line toward the bullpen in right center field, but there is no wind tonight. Salmon supplied the power. That looked like a gapper, and it just carried right into the Ranger bullpen. That ball was really smoked.
It sure was. Salmon with a home run for the 2nd straight night. He has 15 on the season now.
He goes the other way with a pitch out over the plate and just lines a bullet 380 feet. Almost hit Rick Rona out in the bullpen.
Here's Garrett Anderson. Angels now have 3 home runs in the game. Clark to Bales, covering, and he got him. 2 outs in the 7th. Close play at first base, but Bales able to put his foot on the bag before Anderson did. For a free poster of the Pepsi all-time greatest Texas high school football team, send a UPC symbol or register receipt from a Pepsi 12-pack to the address on your screen. P.O. Box 704027, Dallas, Texas. That is a fair ball. Hasselman to first. Palmero, or rather Nevin, is retired. The Angels do get a home run, third of the night, from Tim Salmon in the 7th. It is stretch time in Arlington, and Texas trails by 5. B Sports Southwest is brought to you by Isuzu, builders of the completely reinvented 1998 Isuzu Rodeo. Isuzu, go farther. Ranger fans enjoying the 7th inning stretch here at the ballpark in Arlington. Not enjoying what they're seeing on the scoreboard right now, though. 7-2. Rangers still with some time, though, against the Angels, as they try to knot this series at 2 games apiece. And Bill Hasselman leads things off in the bottom of the 7th inning against Steve Sparks. Hasselman with the average at .341. He is 0 for 2 in tonight's game. Hasselman around on this one, sends it down the line in left, but it is foul. And Hasselman has hit well, and he has gotten a chance to play, stringing together some 2-hit games. 2 balls and 1 strike here. This one is a bloop. A little pop in the middle of the infield. Shipley makes the play, and there is 1 out in the 7th. Wednesday nights are half-price student nights here at the ballpark. All high school and college students can purchase half-price upper reserve tickets, present a valid student ID at any Rangers box office, and take a study break with the Rangers and the A's this Wednesday. Wednesday night baseball, Texas and Oakland this week. Lee Stevens, the hitter. The Rangers with just 4 hits off Sparks through 6 1/3 innings now. Stevens with a long home run his last time up to right center field. Rangers now have home runs in each of their last 10 games. Out at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a solo homer by Stevens to lead off the 5th inning. And now, of the Rangers' last 14 home runs, 12 of them have been solo homers. Time you really get the feeling that for the Angels and the Rangers, 3 months from now, when these 2 teams meet again after this week, these 2 will probably still be in the race in the American League West. Look at 5th inning. Stevens, the facing of the upper deck in the home run porch. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 3-2.
And one of the things about the schedule this year, it was really set up well as far as pennant contenders playing each other the last week of the season. 3 games at Anaheim, 4 games at Seattle. It may not turn out that way if the Seattle Mariners don't start playing well, but at the beginning of the season you would expect that Anaheim, Seattle, and the Rangers could be battling for a pennant. And if it turns out that way, the schedule is set up very well. In fact, it's set up well because it's against the Western Division. Rangers play the A's 3 times and Anaheim 2 more times at home during the last couple of weeks of the season. And that's what you hope. You hope you don't play your closest competitor for the last time, say in July or early August. Love to have those games against your interleague rivals the last couple of weeks of the season. And then you hope for a pennant race. It gets very interesting.
Could be very interesting the last week of the season. Johnny Oates was saying before the game today that he and Terry Collins, the Angels manager, were talking about that very thing this weekend, that they both think it'll come down to that last week of the season. Lee Stevens, the strikeout victim. There are 2 outs in the 7th.
Lee hit a home run on a pitch down and away. That's a fastball, not a knuckleball. Sparks doesn't have the traditional good fastball, but when you mix in all the knuckleballs that he throws with an occasional fastball to the hitter, it looks like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He had good location with that pitch, down and away. He threw it right by Lee Stevens. The same location as the knuckleball that he hit out of the ballpark.
Sparks has retired 16 of the last 18 hitters he has faced going back to the second inning. A homer by Stevens in the 5th and a single by Alicea to lead off the 6th. And that's it among the last 18 batters to come up against Sparks. 2 balls and 1 strike. He is up over 100 pitches, 105 now. And Cedeno around on this one, sends it into the right field corner, and it falls in front of Garrett Anderson. A 2-out base hit for Domingo Cedeno. For your chance to win a satellite dish, programming for a year, and a round of golf at Stonebridge Ranch in McKinney. Send a postcard to the address on your screen. The contest begins on July 1st. We'll give you more details later in tonight's game. Now that is a prize package there. Tatis is the hitter. Rangers trying to do something now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Tatis struck out his last time. He flied to right his first time in the 2nd. 257 now the average for Fernando, and Tatis drives this one to left field. Going back at the wall is the left fielder Palmeiro, and it's off the wall. Here comes Cedeno around 3rd. Tatis is into 2nd. He has an RBI double, and the Angel lead is cut to 4. It's 7-3 Anaheim.
Fernando didn't miss a home run by much. Palmeiro went back to the wall, but he couldn't get this high. Ball's a little more than halfway up the wall in left field. Just missed a home run. Brings in the Rangers' 3rd run. That's a pitch belt high. Pretty good hitting zone. Nice swing by Tatis. Gets under it just a little bit. That probably kept it from going out of the ballpark. It hit right on top of the scoreboard, just missing a home run.
High off the out-of-town scoreboard in left field. And Tatis, who had struggled at the plate of late, gets the RBI double. Angels lead the Rangers 7-3. It was a nice night for Steve Sparks, but the Angels make the call to the bullpen, and we'll be back in a moment.
Win a free trip for 2 to see baseball's best play in Denver, Colorado. Compliments of Fox Sports Southwest and Motel 6. The winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, comfortable room accommodations at Motel 6, ground transportation, game tickets, and Fox Sports Southwest merchandise. Send a postcard with your name, address, age, and phone number to this address. Entries must be received by June 23rd. Don't miss your chance to win a trip to see baseball's best in Denver, Colorado. Sponsored by Motel 6 and Fox Sports Southwest.
47. 40.
40.
30. 34.
30 and 34.
This is for the World Series ring. This is for the World Series anklet you're gonna get.
I think you got the number. Gabardine makes me itch.
The Rangers of Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by Lowe's. When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows. Back here at the ballpark in Arlington, everybody loves Fox. We're watching Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest tonight. Rangers with a 2-out rally going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was a 7-2 lead for the Angels, but Tatis scores the 3rd run of the night for Texas with the double off the left field wall, and Greg Cadaret, the left-hander, is called upon out of the Angel bullpen.
Cadaret resurrecting his career, pitching very well for the Angels out of the bullpen. There's a 260 earned run average we'll attest to. And he pitched very well on Friday night against the Rangers. He pitched 2 1/3. No hits, no runs, struck out 3. Nice job of relief. Strikeout per inning, only 4 walks in 17 1/3. Cadaret pitching like he did 9 or 10 years ago right now.
Due up for Texas was Tom Goodwin, but instead, with the left-hander coming on out of the bullpen, it's the right-handed swinging Roberto Kelly, who's called upon by Johnny Oates. with a man in scoring position. Kelly pops it foul right side. Erstad is over, but it is well into the seats. No ball and 1 strike. Rangers in the series coming into this game just 3 for 24 with runners in scoring position. Kelly tries to come through. Career as a pinch hitter, 289. Ranger pinch hitters of late, just 2 for their last 17 going back to May 22nd. Kelly playing in his 7th game since coming off the disabled list after going on with a pulled hamstring in late April. He had been out for 7 weeks. 1 ball, 1 strike. He had 2 home runs in the Saturday game against the Angels, including a 456-footer. And 1 for 4 in last night's game. 1-1 pitch from Cataray. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Cataray in that outing against the Rangers on Friday went 2 1/3 innings and struck out 3. His earned run average down at 260 now. The Angels won game 1 of this series. Got some good pitching from the starter Omar Oliveras. A 5-1 win. Swing and a miss by Kelly. 2-2.
Good hard slider down. Kelly can't catch it out of the strike zone. Roberto goes up there swinging. We were talking about Bachman only having 1 walk. Roberto's only got 1 walk himself. He's a pretty free swinger.
This one is through the right side, a base hit. Here comes Tatis around third. He will score, and Kelly comes through. An RBI single for Roberto on a 2-2 pitch.
Well, the Rangers making a game out of it with 2 runs in the 7th inning. It pulls them to within 3 on a big base hit by Kelly. Brings up the hot-hitting Luis Alicea. It's a good fastball by Cataray. Right in on the fist. Kelly fights it off, doesn't hit it all that well, but he shoots it into right field for an RBI hit.
So Kelly is on at first base. 3 straight hits for the Rangers after 2 men were out here in the 7th inning. And what was a 7-2 lead is now 7-4. Alicea singled and scored a run in the first, grounded to first in the 3rd, and got a single to lead off the 6th inning. Alicea with a good eye at the plate too.
Still hitting left-handed against the lefty. The job he did last night off Chuck Finley probably gives him a lot of confidence to keep on doing it that way.
Book now closed on Steve Sparks, the starter for the Angels. So he goes 6 2/3 innings and gives up 4 runs on 6 hits, walking 1 and striking out 5. Alicea with the strained oblique muscle on his left side. Painful to swing from the right side, so he is hitting left-handed against all pitchers now. Got 2 hits against Finley last night. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rangers will be facing another left-handed pitcher, Kenny Rogers, tomorrow night. The 2-1 pitch. This one is down the line and left. Over is Orlando Palmeiro, and he can't reach that one. Racing over was Palmeiro, but not enough room down the left field side.
Not much room between the foul line and the stands. He's getting that glove out, but just in case it hits the railing and comes back, he's ducking out of the way.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Palmeiro, the left fielder for the Angels. Cataray, the left-handed pitcher, facing the left-handed swinging Alicea, the former Angel. This is tap foul, third base side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Alicea has been a quality pickup for the Rangers. The Rangers are thanking their lucky stars they have Alicea with McLemore on the disabled list right now. McLemore due to come off the disabled list 1 week from today. That pulled hamstring. Another foul ball. This one will reach the stands behind the Angel dugout on the third base side. Things coming along nicely for McLemore in his rehabilitation from that strained hamstring. He has been taking batting practice early. He has been fielding grounders as well. Right on track, as is Kevin Elster, to return on Wednesday of this week. 2-2 pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alicea with 14 walks and 14 strikeouts this year. As a member of the Angels last year, he walked more than he struck out. Here is the payoff pitch to Alicea. Taps it to the left side. DiSarcina with the gun, not in time. Headed for third is Roberto Kelly, and he's in there.
Well, Louis swung at a bad pitch. Hit a little chopper to shortstop, but he got out of the box very quickly on it, and with good speed beat DiSarcina's throw to first base. DiSarcina knows he has to get rid of it quickly. The ball bounces, and Louis beats it, and on the play, Roberto Kelly goes all the way over to third base. Louis knows he's safe. He's helping out the first base umpire, Ted Hendry, and Roberto just in safely at third base. Erstad, of course, is an outfielder playing first base, so he's got the good arm at first base, and boy, you'd hate to get thrown out at third base with 2 outs. Kelly just did get into third base. A little bit of a risky move going to third base with Rusty Greer coming up, but Roberto has the good speed, and he made it. It's a good play if you make it, let's put it that way.
It was a bit dicey, though. How close was it? It was that close.
It was pretty close.
Well, now the big opportunity for Rusty Greer, who represents the tying run at the plate. All of this happening with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. 4 straight hits for Texas, including the infield single by Alicea. Rusty takes a strike, 0-1. Greer hitting better against left-handers than right-handers this season. Look how tough Cadaret is against left-handed hitters. Although Alicea just able to beat out that infield single. Foul ball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes now to Greer.
Nice move by the security guard. Rusty's got his work cut out for him now. No balls and 2 strikes. But he's been in this position before. Lefty versus lefty. Cadaret throwing pretty hard, trying to get the hitters to swing at that hard breaking ball down and out of the strike zone.
Lays off that one.
Oh, he did. That was a tough one to lay off of, too. That didn't miss by much. It's almost an unhittable pitch, so you're better off taking it, even if it is close, because there's not much you can do with it.
Cadaret thought he had that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers have runners at the corners with 2 outs. After 2 men were out, Cedeno got a single, Tatis an RBI double, Kelly an RBI single, and Alicea an infield single off Cadaret. And Grieve around on this one, sends it to right field. It falls in front of Garrett Anderson. Kelly scores. On to third goes Luis Alicea, and the Rangers have cut the lead to 7-5. And guess who's coming to the plate next?
I don't think Juan will face Cadaret, but that's a nice job of hitting by Rusty Grieve. Cadaret up, no balls and 2 strikes. Missed the outside corner with a couple of pitches, and then he hangs a slider right in the hitting zone for Rusty Grieve, who pulls it to right field for an RBI, and he gets the Rangers 1 run closer. It's 7-5 now. Anderson playing it on a hop.
So Greg Cadaret has now given up a run in this one. That's only the 2nd earned run he has given up since May 12th. He has been pitching very well, but the Rangers touch him for 3 straight hits. Rangers have 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 7th inning, with Juan Gonzalez coming to the plate next. It will be Shigetoshi Hasegawa getting the call from the Angel bullpen. We have a pitching change here in Arlington, with the potential go-ahead run coming to the plate. Angels lead the Rangers 7-5. The Rangers now, with 5 straight hits here in the 7th inning, have now matched the Angels with 9 hits in the game. And it's time for the Discover card payback playback. We take you back to the 6th inning. Rusty Grieve in left field. What appeared to be the 3rd out of the inning, but Grieve with some difficulty. The payback comes here, though, for Rusty here in the 7th inning. Rusty gets the RBI single, making this a 2-run game. 7-5 now. Anaheim over Texas. Payback playback brought to you by the Discover card. It pays to Discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign. Well, Greer's on at first, and Alicea's over at third, and Shigetoshi Hasegawa faces Juan Gonzalez.
366 on the season, earned run average for Hasegawa. He pitched in the Angels' loss last night, pitched an inning in the 3rd, struck out 2, didn't give up any hits or runs. 3-1 on the season, trying to hold the Rangers right here. 7-5 now. Rangers with a nice comeback.
Igor. Senor Gonzalez comes to the plate, hitting .302 on the season, hitless tonight. He did have a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning. His 81st run batted into the season. Leads the major leagues in that category. And Olga looks on in anxious anticipation.
She knows the game might be on the line right here. So does Juan.
Juan takes a ball.
So does Shiggy.
That's right. Gonzalez with 21 home runs on the season. The earliest a Ranger player has gotten to 21 home runs in a season. He represents the go-ahead run. Tying runs at first base. It's off the 5th foul, and it will reach the stands behind the Ranger dugout. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Alicea is the runner over at third base. He beat out the infield single, grounder to short, and then Rusty Grieve delivered the RBI single down the line in right. That scored Roberto Kelly. Gonzalez getting some new lumber. Now he heads back to the plate.
It was a good fastball by Hasegawa, up and in, jammed Gonzalez. Luckily it went into the stands. A little weak foul ball, broke his bat. It's a place you better be careful. If you pitch Juan there, though, and you catch him looking for it, he's hit those pitches a long way over the years.
1-1 pitch, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Hasegawa has left both sliders that he's thrown way up and out of the strike zone. Both hanging, but too far out of the strike zone to be hittable.
Hasegawa came on in last night's game and struck out the first 2 men he faced, Sims and Hasselman. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Juan's a little bit upset with himself. That was a pretty good pitch to hit. Another hanger right down the middle. Juan jumped at it a little bit out in front of it, fouled it off the end of the bat.
And Rusty the runner at first base. Hasegawa. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez sends it into left field. On the run comes Palmeiro in for it, and he handles it. The Rangers leave a couple on, but they score 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7-5 now. The Angel lead is cut to 2. You're watching Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest, your region of Fox Sports Net. It's the ballpark in Arlington. We go to the 8th inning. We're happy you could join us tonight here on Fox Sports Southwest. Bill Jones along with Tom Grieve. We've got a good one now. Into the late innings we go. Scott Bales, who came on in the 7th inning, will be facing the left-handed hitting Orlando Palmeiro to start off the 8th, as the Rangers score 3 in the bottom of the 7th to cut the lead to 7-5. It's a 2-run game headed to the final 2 innings. Palmeiro struck out his last time against Tim Crabtree in the 6th inning. Bales falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes to Orlando Palmeiro, to be followed by Justin Bachman and Gary DiSarcina here in the 8th. There's a strike, 2-1. Rangers starting the night with a 1.5 game lead on Anaheim. Angels trying to pull within a half game. Rangers try to stretch it to 2.5, which was the lead for Texas over Anaheim when this 4-game series got started on Friday night. Angels won game 1 5-1. Took game 2 18-6. Had 21 hits in that one. It held to just 4 hits last night. So Rangers won 4-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Palmeiro. Xavier Hernandez is up in the Ranger bullpen now. A couple of right-handed hitters are scheduled up for the Angels after Palmeiro here in the 8th. The 8 and 9 hitters, Bachman and DiSarcina. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Palmeiro. Payoff pitch is hit to second. Alisea on a big hop. He gets Palmeiro, and there is 1 out. Let's check in again with John Radigan. John?
Bill and Tom, I want you to meet my friend Matt. I could tell he was a Rangers fan right away. I like the subtle touch of the buttons here. Very nice as far as the body paint goes, but Matt's from San Antonio, doesn't have any friends here. How do I know? Matt, turn around for me. Look at Matt's back. It's bare. I have a lot of friends here. I'm going to introduce Matt around. We'll get his back painted before the next game. Back to you guys, Bill and Tom.
All right.
Come on, Matt. Let's go find some.
Be a good look for John one of these days out there.
That is a good idea.
Be a real good look for him.
We had a dancing John Radigan last night. Well, Scott Bales has left this game as he gets the first out here in the 8th inning. Couple of right-handed hitters due up, so it'll be the X-Man's turn next. A pitching change at the ballpark. Send your postcard for a chance to win a satellite dish, programming for a year, and a round of golf at Stonebridge Ranch in McKinney, Texas, beginning July 1st. If we draw your name and a Ranger hits a home run in a selected inning, you win. If there's no home run, you still win golf at Stonebridge Ranch in McKinney. The intelligent choice. 1 out, top of the 8th inning. 4th pitcher of the night for Texas is Xavier Hernandez. There's nobody on base.
It's been a while since the X-Man has pitched. He last pitched in Colorado last Tuesday. Pitched an inning, walked a couple, struck out a couple. He should be well rested for the ball game.
There are the numbers for Xavier Hernandez. ERA just below 5, his 13th appearance of the season. Did not pitch the first month of the season. He was on the disabled list. And he falls behind Justin Bachman here. Actually, it's even 1 ball, 1 strike. Bachman 0 for 3. It's the start at second base for the Angels. This one is hit right at Tatis at third. Did not have to move at all for it. Just put the glove up.
And he's lucky he got his glove up. He was playing in front of the bag just a little bit. And Bachman hit a bullet right at him, boy. Here's a good look at it. Just like a catcher, get that glove up. He's glad he caught that thing.
Number 9 hitter is Gary DiSarcina. DiSarcina walked his last time. Earlier, he had an RBI double and a single. This one is hit past third into left field. Sharply hit by Gary DiSarcina. And he is now 3 for 3. DiSarcina just won't quit hitting.
Well, he's been hitting the ball right on the nose, too. There's not many bloopers in all these hits that Gary has had. In fact, he hit a ball the other night, last night, as a matter of fact, that Rusty made the great play on in deep left center field. He might have another extra base hit in this series. He's swinging very well. Has his average well over 300 now, 307 coming into the game. He's 3 for 3 with a walk tonight.
Well, he went 2 for 4 in the game on Friday night, 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs Saturday, 0 for 3 last night, but as you just mentioned, had the ball in the gap that Rusty ran down, and then 3 for 3 tonight. Has reached base all 4 times.
DiSarcina is one of those real steady players, not flashy, doesn't make the spectacular plays at shortstop, not a home run hitter, bats in the bottom of the lineup. I think if you ask Terry Collins to list the players he'd least like to lose on his ball club, DiSarcina would be one of the guys he would mention. Like to have that steady guy in the middle infield, especially at shortstop. DiSarcina, good, solid, everyday player.
This is Darren Erstad, the American League Player of the Week for last week, and he drives it deep down the line in right, but it is foul.
Well, he jumped on that high pitch. I don't know if that was a high splitter that didn't sink or a high fastball. Whatever it was, it's just foul a long way down the right field line. Looks fair right here, but it just hooks foul.
So ahead in the count now is the X-Man, 0-2 to Erstad. Talking about Gary DiSarcina, he is 10 for 15 in this series. Swing and a miss. Hernandez gets Erstad to end the 8th inning. Angels leave a man on. Rangers trail by 2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Well, looky here, some familiar faces in the crowd on a Monday night in Texas.
Presidents past and present.
Little dance fever.
I didn't know Abe could go like that.
Well, here's our baseball fact brought to you by Lowe's. You know, Lowe's knows the answer. June 15th, 1938, some 60 years ago, Johnny Vandermeer with the no-hitter. Will Clark leading things off in the 8th. Facing Hasegawa, who got Gonzalez on a fly to left field to end the 7th inning. Rangers down by 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hasegawa working on the second consecutive day. There's more action in the Angel bullpen. Hasegawa faces the left-handed hitting Clark here. 2 balls and 1 strike. Clark, Hasselman, and Stevens due up here in the 8th. This one is hit to the right side. Bachman has trouble with it. Recovers in time to get Clark. Almost forgot something there.
Almost caught a break there to start the 8th inning. Down by 2 runs. Sure would be a nice way to get that leadoff man on. Bachman almost booted the ball. Gets up in time to make the play. Good thing he didn't do that against Tom Goodwin, though.
1 out. Nobody on. Hasselman the hitter. And Hasselman sends this one to left center field. It is way back there near the track. Palmeiro runs it down.
Palmeiro's a good outfielder. He's played a lot of center field. Gets a good jump. Runs pretty well. Hasselman looked like he'd made a bid for an extra base hit, but Palmeiro runs it down in front of the warning track, in front of the 390 sign.
Hasselman is 0 for 4 in this game. It gives it a good ride here. Here's Lee Stevens. 2 outs in the 8th. Rangers had their big rally in the 7th after 2 men were out. Stevens had the long home run to right center in the 5th inning against Steve Sparks. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Kerry Wood started for the Cubs tonight against the Brewers. Cubs won that game 6-5. Kerry Wood did not figure in the decision, though. He went 7 in the 3rd innings. Gave up 3 hits, 5 runs. He walked 6 and struck out 7. And Stevens sends this one to right center, and it will go all the way to the wall. Anderson up quickly with it. Stevens is into second base with a sliding double. Can the Rangers have another 2-out rally in them?
We talked about the rope that Tim Salmon hit out of the ballpark in right center field. Here's another rope by Lee Stevens. Looked like Anderson might have a chance to make the play. Take a look at the pitch. It's a low fastball down and in, and Lee Stevens hits a bullet. I think Anderson off the bat thought that he had a chance. That ball just zipped right by him. It wasn't Anderson's doing. He got a good jump. He just couldn't catch up with that line shot by Lee Stevens.
So Stevens is on at second base. There are 2 outs in the 8th. And Domingo Cedeno is the hitter, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Texas, and making a slow walk out of the Angel dugout. Joe Madden, the interim manager, Terry Collins, serving the 7th game of his 8-game suspension. He'll have to serve through tomorrow's game against Seattle, too.
Troy Percival is warmed up in the bullpen. He's their closer. He hasn't pitched in the series, so he's well rested, and he'll have a chance for a 2-inning save. That'll be it for Hasegawa. I think as soon as the tying run came to the plate, Joe Madden had every intention of bringing Percival into the ballgame.
So Hasegawa leaves. He went 1 inning, gave up the double to Stevens, who's at second base, and it is time for the Angel closer, Troy Percival. We'll be back to the ballpark in a moment. Bottom of the 8th inning here at the ballpark. After 2 men were out, Lee Stevens got a double. Domingo Cedeno is the hitter, and it's a tough assignment for Domingo as Troy Percival is the new pitcher for Anaheim.
Percival, one of the hardest throwers in the league. Pitched 27 in the 3rd innings, only 16 hits. Walked 14, struck out 33. He's 0-2 on the season. Percival last pitched an inning and a 1/3. That was June 11th at Arizona. He got his 19th save. He's 19 for 21 in save opportunities. And this is definitely a save opportunity, but a tough save opportunity for a pitcher. He's got to come in and get out of a jam here in the 8th inning. And if he's able to do that, then he has to come back out and pitch the 9th inning.
So Percival faces Cedeno. with Stevens, the runner at second base. 7-5, a 2-run lead for Anaheim. Cedeno representing the tying run at the plate here. Cedeno had a single, got the Rangers started on their 3-run rally with 2 outs in the 7th. Domingo fouls it off. 0-1. Cedeno now has hits in 11 of his last 12 games. .19 for 47 in that time, but look at him against Percival in his career. 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
You got to get it tuned up against this guy, boy. 96 miles an hour. Also got one of those deceptive kind of deliveries where it's tough to pick the ball up. And he's throwing well. Sometimes he's unhittable. Also been known to have a little bit of a control lapse occasionally. Not very often, but every now and then. There's one of those fastballs that almost looks like it rises and where he lets it go. Doesn't rise. Also looks like he has a hard time catching the signs.
Cedeno sends it to left center. Edmonds is over, and he has it for the final out in the 8th inning. Stevens had a double, but he is stranded. It's a 2-run lead for the Angels as we go to the 9th. The Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest have been brought to you by Coors Light and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. To the 9th we go. 7-5, Angels over the Rangers. Both teams have 10 hits. Rangers a couple of errors tonight. Rangers were down 7-2 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Scored 3 with 2 outs in the 7th to cut the lead to 2. Now we go to the 9th, and Craig Shipley leads things off against Xavier Hernandez. Shipley, Edmonds, and Salmon for Anaheim in the 9th. And Shipley around on this one, sends it deep to left field. It is way back, and it is out of here. It's now a 3-run lead for Anaheim. 8-5 Angels as Shipley gets the home run to left field.
Boy, that one hurts. It's tough enough to score off Percival, tough enough to get 2 runs. Now the Rangers have to get 3. There's been some line shots hit tonight. Here's another one. That's a second ball Shipley's hit very well tonight. A line shot double, and this home run gets out of here in a hurry right down the left field line. Fastball right straight down the middle, and Shipley lines it over the 332 sign, no doubt about it.
Here is Jim Edmonds. Ball 1 to Edmonds. Shipley also hit that ball to end the 6th inning that Gonzalez made the nice play on in right field.
That's right. That's right. He's at 3 of them.
8-5 Angels over the Rangers. This one is sharply hit back up through the middle, and Edmonds is on.
A nice job of making the lineup card out by Terry Collins tonight. Gave some regulars a day off. Shipley stepped in and done a great job for Dave Hollins. Orlando Palmeiro has a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs, essentially replacing Cecil Fielder today.
And how about Phil Nevin?
Phil Nevin hit a home run. Saw Matt Wallback the first 3 games of the series.
And this guy hit a home run too for the Angels, Tim Salmon. There goes the runner at first. It's fouled back. Well, the Angels now have 4 home runs in this game. Nevin with a 2-run homer, Anderson a solo shot, Salmon a solo shot, and now Craig Shipley a solo homer as well. That was his first home run of the season. Man on, nobody out. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Rangers will have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters up in the bottom of the 9th. Tatis, Kelly, and Alicea. ball, 1 strike. Tom, we told you about Kerry Wood going in that Cubs game tonight. Sammy Sosa hit his 22nd home run of the year. Sammy Sosa also hit his 23rd home run of the year. And Sammy Sosa also hit his 24th home run of the year.
Boy, he has been hot. Last 2 weeks. How many home runs has he hit? 12 home runs in the last 2 weeks?
It's his second career 3 home run game tonight.
Wow.
Cubs beat the Brewers.
It's one thing to hit 3 home runs in a 17-4 game. It's another thing to hit 3 when your team wins 6-5. 3 pretty big home runs when you win by 1 run.
Sosa with 24 home runs on the season. He has 11 home runs in June now.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good season.
Now we're just halfway through June.
That's unbelievable. I think he's putting in a pretty fair bid for National League Player of the Month. He's hitting up near 350. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Salmon. Orioles beat the Yankees tonight. 7-4 was the final. Rafael Palmeiro, who's been hitting very well of late, got his 18th home run of the year for Baltimore. Joe Carter also homered. And he went around, says the first base umpire, Ted Hendry. 1 out in the 9th. Here's what's coming up on Fox Sports News after the game tonight. It's a Stanley Cup Game 4 preview. They are celebrating in Chicago. And there was World Cup action today. United States and Germany. Garrett Anderson is the hitter. Anderson, one of those Angels who homered tonight. Bobby Witt started for Texas, went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 8 hits. Swing and a miss. Tim Crabtree pitched well in relief, 2 2/3 of hitless relief for him. Bales went an inning and a third, gave up the homer to Salmon, and now Hernandez is the 4th pitcher of the night. Stepping out as Hernandez takes a lot of time on the mound is Anderson. Rangers and the Oakland A's start a 3-game series tomorrow night here at the ballpark. Matt Parasho gets his first start as a Ranger against former Ranger Kenny Rogers. 0-2 to Garrett Anderson. Rest of that Oakland series, John Burkett goes Wednesday night against Mike Oquist for the A's, and Aaron Seeley on Thursday afternoon against another knuckleballer, Tom Candiotti. The knuckleballer for the Angels tonight was effective Steve Sparks, who stands to get the win if the Rangers can't come back in the 9th. 1-2 to Anderson. Tigers beat the Twins 3-2, and another well-pitched game at home for Brian Moeller. He is 6-5 on the season, went 7 2/3 innings and gave up 2 runs and 7 hits. He got the win over Brad Radke. And it was the Royals over the Indians in 10 innings, 7-6, as Jeff King got the game winner for Kansas City in the 10th. Indians have lost 4 in a row now. They still have a commanding 7.5 game lead in the Central Division. Runner at first, 1 out. And again, the 1-2 pitch to Anderson misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seattle and Oakland both off tonight. Rangers with a 10-game lead on the A's as the night begins. The A's are 7 games under 500. The Mariners in last place in the West, 12 games out. Swing and a miss. Hernandez gets Anderson. Back-to-back Ks. Salmon and Anderson.
The X-Man has his splitter working. He's very tough. He tried to get ahead of Shipley with a fastball, though, and Shipley hit it out of the ballpark. And there's the splitter to Garrett Anderson. Dive bombing out of the strike zone. Anderson's way out in front of it. Good pitch by the X-Man.
And he now pitches to Phil Nevin, the Angel catcher, who had a 2-run homer in his first at bat in the second. Swing and a miss. Hernandez came on with 1 out in the 8th inning. He has struck out 3 in an inning and a third. He got Erstad to end the 8th, and now Salmon and Garrett Anderson. Some pretty fair hitters. But Shipley touched him for the solo homer on the first pitch of the 9th inning to give the Angels a 3-run lead. Hernandez ahead 0-2 against Nevin. And the National League score, the Astros over the Reds 13-2. Final in Cincinnati. Bagwell, his 10th home run of the year for Houston. Time called. Hernandez takes his time. He's been effective to the last couple of hitters.
One thing for sure, they're not enforcing the 12-second rule tonight.
Trying to check his swing. The appeal down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a clock on him?
I've clocked a few of them, as a matter of fact.
Of course, that is not in effect with a runner on base, though.
Oh, that's right. I take that back. It should be.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. Most pitchers, I've never put a clock on it or not, or anything like that, but most pitchers with nobody on base, they're not going to take 12 seconds to deliver to the plate.
Right.
Well, 3 in a row for the X-Man. He got Salmon, Anderson, and Nevin to end the 9th, but it's a 3-run lead for the Angels. It will be Tatis, Kelly, and Alicea due up to face Percival in the bottom of the 9th. It's time for the Dallas Morning News Sports Day front page headline as the Angels lead the Rangers 8-5 going to the bottom of the 9th. In need of a spark. Rangers are in need of a spark, but early on they saw a little too much of Steve Sparks, the starting pitcher for the Angels tonight. We got Gonzalez in the 6th inning with a man on. Sparks looking for the win for the Angels, but the Rangers hoping for a rally before 43,380 fans on a Monday night in Arlington. 43,380, second largest crowd of this 4-game series. Rangers drew 35,000 or more for all of them, including a sellout on Saturday. Fernando Tatis tries to get Texas started against the Angel closer Troy Percival in the 9th. It's a strike, 0-1. Tatis hit one deep to left field, high off the out-of-town scoreboard for an RBI double his last time up in a 3-run rally with 2 outs in the 7th. That one drops in. 0-2 to Tatis.
It's almost not fair to throw that kind of a curveball when you're tuning it up there at 96 miles an hour.
Rangers need base runners here in the 9th. One ball, 2 strikes. Tatis now with 21 RBIs on the season. And strike 3. There's 1 out in the 9th. Percival gets his first strikeout. He got Cedeno on a fly to center to end the 8th inning with a man in scoring position. Now back to the top of the order with 1 out in the 9th. Roberto Kelly tries to get the Rangers started. Kelly had an RBI single, pinch hitting for Goodwin in the 7th. Percival gets ahead 0-1. Percival is tied with John Wetland and Tom Gordon of the Red Sox for the American League lead in saves with 19. Looking for number 20. Big swing and a miss by Roberto. It's 0-2. Angels got out to the big early lead tonight. It was 6-1 after 4 innings. As Anaheim scored 3 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd against Bobby Witt. That is a foul ball. Angels are 2 outs away from cutting the Ranger lead back down to 1/2 game in the American League West. Taking 3 out of 4 in this series. This one is hit right at the shortstop, DiSarcina. Sure-handed fielder. He makes the play. And there are 2 outs in the 9th.
Kelly hit it well, solidly on the ground right to DiSarcina. Rangers down to their last out now, though. Good guy to get a rally going, though. Alicea's got 3 hits tonight. And he seems to hit these hard throws pretty well. 3 for 4, including an infield single in that rally in the 7th inning. It's up to Alicea to keep it going for Texas. Takes a ball, 1-0. Matt Parrish show against Kenny Rogers tomorrow. Rangers and the A's, the start of a 3-game series. 2 balls and no strikes. The Angels, meanwhile, will be taking on the Seattle Mariners the next 3 days. There's a called strike, 2-1. One of these days, the Mariners are going to put together a good streak. That'd be a good time for them to start it.
It would be. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the Rangers are down to their final strike against Percival. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Angels poised to claim their 39th win of the season against 28 losses. Unless the Rangers can rally here, they'll fall to 40-28, a 1/2 game lead. It would be the Angels' 13th win in their last 15 games. Way upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lee Stevens at a homer tonight for Texas. There's ball 4, and the Rangers have a base runner. They're not done yet.
That's a start. What you'd love to see is the tying run at the plate. And if you do, it'll be Juan Gonzalez.
That would be some high drama.
That would at least bring some excitement to the ball game. Rusty Greer has to get on base first, though.
Rusty did deliver an RBI single in the 7th inning. His last time up, he has 2 hits in the game. Facing Troy Percival. 1-0. A 2-out walk to Alicea. Percival throws ball 1 to Greer. Greer 0 for 2 in his career against Percival. A couple of walks and a couple of strikeouts. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Well, that was a nice at-bat by Greer in the 7th inning against Catteray. He fell behind 0-2, worked it to a 2-2 count, and got the RBI single to right field. 2-1. Rangers showing some patience against Percival here. And And Rusty sends it high in the air to shallow left field. Palmeiro makes the play, and the Angels put the wraps on a 8-5 win over Texas. Anaheim takes 3 out of 4 from the Rangers in this 4-game series, and the Rangers will head to Anaheim next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and try to return the favor there. But the Ranger lead is down to 1/2 game in the American League West. An 8-5 finalist. Steve Sparks gets the win. For Tom Grieve, John Radigan, and our entire crew, Bill Jones saying goodnight from Arlington. Once again, our final, the Angels 8, the Rangers 5. Be sure to join us for our next Fox Sports Southwest Rangers telecast, 7:30 Wednesday. The Rangers and the A's with Fox Sports Southwest tonight, preceding the game at 7. Coming up immediately, Fox Sports News. You've been watching Rangers coverage on Fox Sports Southwest, your home of Fox Sports Net.